Yeah, so I agree that there is a growing housing affordability problem here in Seattle. As I said, I've met with hundreds of members across campus, and that's been the absolute number one concern I've heard. And it's a problem for equity. It's a problem for when we think about if you come to graduate school here and you want to stay in the city, how do you do that if the city is so unaffordable? And how do we keep graduate school and being able to do postdocs as something that's not just limited to the independently wealthy? And that includes addressing the affordability crisis here. So hearing from you, my campaign has decided to really partner with the graduate students across campus who are doing the work that are looking at new and innovative solutions in order to develop develop our platform around housing affordability. And so I've been talking to students in the Evans School, and part of that is going to be keeping our institutions accountable. If you have heard, the University of Washington's master plan was supposed to include 450 affordable units. And that was then, they came back and asked for that to be changed to voluntary, and that passed through the City Council. And so that's something where when we're talking about affordable housing, it's not just about having another progressive on the City Council, it's about having someone who knows the university's tactics and will fight back against that. So keeping our institutions accountable is really important to me as a City Councilor. Beyond that, I think we need progressive revenue streams in order to expand our affordable housing stock. And that would look like partnering with other nonprofits to expand and build more affordable housing, as well as just including expanding funding in order to address that. The second part of this question about how do we address the homelessness problem, and problem is in quotes. I think there's many ways to keeping people in their homes is the number one way to help reduce this problem, which is why I've partnered with various nonprofits around Seattle through the Housing Justice Work Group within UIW. We partnered with B Seattle and Shama Sawan's office to organize workshops around tenants' rights. And then we are starting to do some work pushing on the state level and at the city level for reform around evictions, because evictions are quite high, and you can be evicted after 3 days of non-payment. And so there's some work definitely to be done around expanding tenants' rights, and expanding and making sure people know what their tenants' rights are and are not afraid to push back against landlords. Other than that, we have programs now like DESC, which we know work very well, but they are extremely underfunded. And so when you're having people who are experiencing homelessness concurrently with mental or behavioral health problems, those social workers, if there's high turnover due to lack of funding, then those social workers are not able to form relationships with people experiencing homelessness, and therefore it's really hard to build those trusting relationships in order to get people the services they need. So expanding funding to the programs that we already have would be one of the ways that I would address this, to making sure that the resources are going to the people who need them the most.